Now that spring is here, are you interested in taking that silk scrunchie and turning it into a scrunchie headband? By the end of today's tutorial, I will give you some tips and tricks on how to convert your silk scrunchie into a headband. For the best creative DIY and fashion content, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a video every Tuesday. I have a Facebook page that is dedicated to DIY, crafts, fashion, and home improvements that you're able to join. Now it's your turn. One of the best tips when sewing a project is to make a pattern and then take a picture of the project once it's completed and put it in an envelope. And if you need instructions where it's complicated, write out the instructions so you don't forget, so that you're able to reuse these patterns. If you're going to be doing a business out of it, then always use hard paper. Now, one of the things we're going to do today is take this pattern, which we're just extending it from a scrunchie and making the scrunchie pattern bigger. So here are the fabrics that we're going to be using for this week's project. The bottom is the Ankara African fabric, the Dupuni silk. I'm going to make one white, but then I'm also going to try and use the alcohol ink that we used last week, and I'll link the tutorial up here. So if you want to try and make it, then you're able to make it on your own. To start off this project, we're going to be first sewing our main fabric, which is 7 inches by 40 inches long. Your fabric can be cotton, silks, satin. Try and use a heavier, denser fabric so that your puff is more dramatic. I double stitched my fabric because I was using silk, and that will just keep it from fraying. Now we want to just pull through the fabric through your casing and put it on the right sides, and just kind of press out your seam so it's a little bit flat. Now I went on to the elastic casing, which you're going to do the same thing, fold it in half and stitch from one end to the next. This is the point in time that you would figure out what size you want, how thick you want that casing. And you're going to also do the same thing, pull it through. And also, if you're looking to learn a little bit more about fabrics, you can click on this card here. Comment down below if you're interested in making these scrunchies for this spring or fall. Now with the elastic, I always do a little bit of a weave through my elastic to ensure it holds. And we're just going to pull it through the elastic casing. Now flip it over so that you have your seam in the middle, not at the edge, but in the middle, and put a pin on both sides. Put a pin to hold it, and then you're going to just feed through the rest of that elastic on the opposite side, and when you get there also put a pin, and that's just to hold it secure. Before you start multiplying your Ankara scrunchie headband, determine what you want your elastic casing to look like. This is 5/8 of an inch, and this one is 1.5 inches wide, of course folded in half. And so this one here is a little bit thinner, whereas this one is thicker and puffy. And remember, this is going at the back of your head. Now for the inner fabric, we're going to do it the exact same way that we have been doing it, but this time we're going to sew down the middle, and that is just to ensure that we have a nice thick bulky piece of fabric that we're able to weave our needle, our pin through, and then weave it through our main fabric. Now you want to ensure that you secure one end with a pin so that that doesn't go all the way through. And as you gather through the rest of the fabric, the inner fabric all the way down, you want to pin and secure the opposite end. Now what I did was I just gathered it to distribute the gathering so that I saw what my scrunchie headband would look like. Now you're going to go and take your elastic casing and you're going to do right sides together, and now you're going to bend over those two pieces of fabric and sew. And I triple sewed, back stitched all the way through, and then cut off your excess fabric. And guys, that is as simple as it is. Your headband scrunchie is done. Now you want to go through, distribute your fabrics just to make sure that it's nice and puffy. And that's the easiest way to turn your scrunchie into a headband scrunchie. This is a bouquet silk scrunchie, which is really lightweight, so it's a flimsier scrunchie, whereas the Dupuni silk scrunchie has more volume and it actually stays up on your head. Now that you know how to make the Ankara headband, I have written a 9-page guide on different designing platforms that will help you take your creative juices out of your head and put them on a digital platform. I've also included some tutorials to help you understand the platforms better. Download the guide at the link in the description box. Are you interested in joining a group of creative minds like yourself? I have a Facebook page that is dedicated to sharing DIY crafts, fashion, home improvement ideas that you're able to join. Check out the link in the description box. Check out these videos next on silk scrunchie, how to make a perfect scrunchie, and alcohol ink tutorial, secret tips and tricks. Next coming video on when I incorporate bleach and the alcohol ink. Now, if you like this video, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe and share it with your family and friends.